Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Reavyne and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to part 2 of my 43,000 subscriber Q&A video where I answer all of your questions that you left for me. Now part 1 is already out and there's a bunch of questions answered there, so feel free to check that out if you haven't already. But with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? So first question comes from Click as Guardian. He says, congrats my dude. My question is, what's your favorite dialogue from a hero in each faction? So one would have to be definitely the Perry from Peacekeeper. I fucking love that for some reason. And Mortem Inimigus as well is great. It's really hard to choose on the night side. They got so many of them. When it comes to Samurai, it would have to be the I don't know what it is. The thing that fucking Shigoki says whenever he goes to grab people. You know, right after he's grabbed them, he's hugged them, crushed their back, he's like, bleh, and he just fucking does that thing. I don't know if he actually says anything there or he just screams, but that's my favorite. And as for the Vikings, it's the thing, once again, no idea how to say it, but that Raider does whenever he does his Raider's Fury, right? Where he does the whatever the fuck he says there. I love that. Every time I hear that, if it's on the receiving end of it, I shit myself. If I'm doing it, I laugh. And it also sounds like he's saying you need to do better. I don't know why. And when it comes to the Wulin, I honestly would have no fucking idea. I don't play them enough or pay attention to them at all. I wouldn't even know. I don't remember anything that they say because it's just like in my head, it's just static whenever I see them. But next question comes from Quinn. First of all, congrats. What's the most underrated game in your opinion? Keep up the good vids. It's really good to see your channel has grown so much since I started following you in the beginning. Thank you so much for the long time support, my friend. And most underrated game in your opinion? That's a really hard one. There's a few of them. So right now, 2 games that I've been playing recently that are really fucking underrated, like really underrated, is Battle Brothers. That one's really underrated and it's so fucking good. And the other one would have to be Slay the Spire. That game is so much fun. It's just like a time killing one. It's addictive as shit. But both those games have a bunch of depth to them. They have RNG, they have RPG elements. They're really, really cool. So those are the 2. Oh, and Mallow. Mallow is a game I played and it's like really fucking cool. It's like PvP, there's like card games to it, it's like RPG elements, you collect gear, there's strategy, you're trying to beat someone. It's like a tabletop game essentially, right? But it's got this like really cool skin on it. It's like this cool art style to it. But like it's so hard to find people playing it and I don't know why it hasn't gotten traction because it's such a fucking fun game. I don't know. But yeah, Armello is one of them as well. But next question comes from Sarkes96. He says, hey Reavyne, I'm a Diamond 4 player and I genuinely agree with what you say about the game and about how we love this game and what it could be. But do you honestly think that Ubi will bring new content like more factions, modes, more players in the game? Like they said they have big plans for the game, but do you think it's just a carrot on the stick type deal or they actually got something coming out? I love your vids. Cheers from Belgium. My man. So when it comes to, okay, a while ago I would have said, yeah, they got a shit ton coming out. Now I have no idea. I honestly have no idea what we're getting next year, if we're getting anything next year. Too many prominent figures have left Ubisoft recently for us all not to be worried. Okay, if you're sitting here like, nah, man, it's completely fine. I don't know what to tell you. We've had Damien leave, who was the fucking 2IC of the entire project. We had Pope leave, who was a lead community manager guy, the guy who was fucking doing everything for us. We had Bo leave, who was doing the whole faction war, and she didn't even announce it. She just disappeared, showed up at E3, and now she's the game dev for fucking Rainbow Six Quarantine. She didn't even announce that she left. That's why, like, you know, I said as well, why is there nothing with the faction war? Where's the Wulin? What's going on? I put out that faction war video, like what's happening, right? We hadn't heard anything about the faction war or Bo for ages. Turns out she fucking left. That's why. And then like they stopped doing the Warriors Den every single week now. They stopped doing weekly content. They scaled back how much content we're getting in terms of 2 heroes a season and 2 maps and like, you know, rework or whatever, to now we only get the reworks here and there. We only get 1 hero a season, so all that's been scaled back. Not to mention the fact that after they did the stream saying that they weren't doing the Warriors Den every week, on Reddit, FredX said he was leaving. He was the guy who ran the entire fucking Reddit. So like way too many prominent people are leaving For Honor. There's just too much silence on their end. The Warriors Dens have been really lackluster. They're also, that's why they scaled them back and stuff. It's looking pretty dire. I'm not going to lie, right? Next year, I have no idea what we're going to get. If they're either going to shut it down, tell us they got For Honor 2, or tell us that they have content still. We're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know. I know as much as you guys right now. It's all just speculation on my part. We could get something. We could get screwed. We're going to have to wait and see. Next question comes from William182. I'll try to recommend any friends to your channel. Buddy, keep rolling out those videos. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Anyone who shares my videos around, thank you. I really appreciate it. It does help a lot. His question is, would you rather Ubisoft keep updating For Honor or get busy on For Honor 2? Okay, so this is a big one. Realistically, what I would want and what I would do if I was over there and I was in charge and had the budget for it is I would keep For Honor going as it is right now. One new hero a season, content of the week, all that sort of stuff. Keep going as we are. And then I would start working on For Honor 2. That way we can sort of bring it up together when we're getting ready to launch For Honor 2. Bring that up, cut that dry, go straight into For Honor 2 so there's not this massive time in between of waiting for the game and people losing interest in it. But if I had to choose between updating For Honor or For Honor 2, I would have to pick For Honor 2 because it gives a chance for the game to hit a second stride. If they bring out For Honor 2 and it has every single hero we have now, but more factions, a new engine, so the graphics are all updated. The graphics are great now, but if they were better, you know, no one's going to complain. If it had the dedicated servers from the start, and they had just this ability, right, to just put the game in a more balanced state from the start with everything they've learned in terms of heroes. Because right now the main issue that the developers have is the fact that they have heroes like Black Prior, Hitakiri, Shaman, the new Shikoki rework, these characters who are awesome, right, because they're fun to play and stuff. Then they have all these characters that were, you know, made when For Honor first was made under that philosophy and that design. And now they're trying to make them interesting. But these new characters were made with everything they've learned. That's why they're so much better. So it's about bridging that gap right now. They're trying to do that. If you have a For Honor 2, you start everyone off like that because you can design their kits however the fuck you want and you don't have to worry about, you know, them. Like if right now, if they could take Peacekeeper out of the game and go, we're going to redo Peacekeeper, rework it. You can't play her. And then when we're ready, we'll launch her and she'll be like fresh, new designs like we have the new heroes. Everyone will lose their fucking shit. So they can't do that. But if they launch a For Honor 2, they can do that. They can take all the heroes down, take them down to their bare bones and what they look like, and then just redesign, you know, how they play and everything from the ground up with everything they've learned. And boom, they're going to be on par with Black Prior, Hitakiri, all that sort of stuff. So For Honor 2 would be more preferable because it also does what Division 2 did and what Destiny 2 did, where it basically gives everyone a second chance, old players and new players, to jump in fresh together and just everyone gets to experience it from the start. And hopefully if they fixed all their fucking mistakes, it'd be the best thing ever. But whether they do any of that, who knows? But my opinion would be For Honor 2. If I had my way in the perfect world, it'd be keep going For Honor until you launch For Honor 2. Next question though comes from Hanaf and he says, what's under the beanie? You mentioned a martial arts background before. Can you talk a bit more about that? And congrats to you and Mr. Brown on 43k subs. You deserve all the top quality content you give us. Hear that, Mr. Brown? We deserve it. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. As for your two questions, I'll answer them briefly here. Because I did answer them in the first part of this video. So what's under the beanie? You'll find out at 50,000 subscribers if we ever get there. And martial art background, I did talk about that extensively in the first part. But the TLDR is, yes, I used to teach martial arts and I did MMA, cage fighting, and street fighting. If you want to know more, check out the first part. Next question comes from Crazy Games. For Honor is a pain lately. How do you deal with it? By not taking the game seriously and having fun. That's pretty much it. There was a point back in Season 3 where I was just not having fun with the game anymore because I was trying to take it too seriously. And when Centurion just got nerfed or something, and then I was trying to take the game super serious, and then it was just like, it just gets really frustrating, right? And also that was before dedicated servers and all the good stuff was in. So it was just disconnects, a whole bunch of bullshit. Things were unbalanced. It was just annoying. My favorite Centurion just got nerfed. And it was just infuriating. I was going to quit the game. But then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just have fun, not care about winning or losing, and just play the game for fun. Start doing that, and been doing that ever since. I jump in, I fuck around. People say, you're shit. You fucking suck. Like, you're really, really shit at the game, bro. Like, you know, what? No, why should anyone listen to you and stuff? It's like, I got Grandmaster when I tried, when I did ranked, right? I don't care if I win or lose. I'm just here to have fun. I don't care if I'm this sweaty, neckbeard guy going, I'm the top shit in the game. I don't care. I did that back in the day and stuff. I don't care anymore. That's how you do it, my friend. Just don't care. Who gives a fuck? People say you're shit. Yeah, I'm shit. I'm not like those guys. I'm not the worst guy in the world. I'm not the best guy in the world. I'm just playing for fun. Play for fun. If you have friends, play it with them. It's fun. Fuck around. That's the whole point of games, is to play, fuck around, have fun. It's entertainment. It's not supposed to be like this thing that's sweaty. Unless you're like, you know, going for the top ranks or something because you want to be like an esports dude. Just chill. Have fun with the game. If you get bored, put it down, play something else. That's literally what I do. And that's how you stop For Honor from being a pain. Don't play it religiously. Don't take it overly serious. And if you get bored, play something else. And most importantly, have fun, because that's what video games are for. Next question comes from Merlin Manticore. Would you play your band's hits on your vids in the future? By the way, keep it up. Love your content. Thank you so much, my friend. So, yeah, I will be... it's a weird one, right? So essentially this is going to come down to it when things are more ready, but I have plans for music stuff in the future when it comes to YouTube. but that's going to come down to you guys later on. But yes, once my band stuff is ready, I will be putting that out for you guys to take a listen to, or redirecting you to the band YouTube channel, which we do have currently, but there's just no videos on it because we're still working on the content. But when that is ready, I will definitely let you all know. Next question comes from D Nordskrik Rabbi. I butchered that. I'm sorry, my friend. But you said, if you could create your own For Honor hero, what would it be? Weapon, class, faction, moveset. So I make a ton of these videos already, and I've already done this. So on my channel, there is a possible Spartan hero coming into For Honor for the Knight faction. I've got that on the channel. Feel free to check it out. That would be my ideal hero. And I've also got, like, I think at least over 14 other characters that I've created, full everything, faction, class, moveset, what I want them to have. So they're all on the channel as well. Check that out if you want to and if you have time. But it would definitely be the Spartan guy. That would be so much fun. Next question comes from Session Box. Can you host a tournament? Do you think Warlord needs a buff? So I could host a tournament in the future, but it's just about time. I really don't have much time in my life right now in terms of spare time between my full-time job, music, YouTube, just winding down myself, gym, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I wouldn't have time to host one, but I might in the future if I find myself with more time. As for Warlord, yes, he definitely needs something. Not so much as a buff, he's fine now, but he needs a proper rework with new moves so that way he's not boring as fuck to play. Because right now, Warlord's biggest sin is that he's so boring to play, but he's so fucking awesome. I love Warlord, but he's just boring, especially compared to the new Shigoki, Hitakiri, compared to Black Prior, compared to Shaman. He's just boring as shit. That's his greatest sin, and they need to fix that. But the next question comes from Taran. Go Palak Rishnan. Hope I didn't butcher that. If the devs cannot balance the game, why not make everyone broken? Pretty much what I've been saying for the longest fucking time. I said ages ago, I've gone, if the devs make everyone broken, no one's broken. If everyone is shit, no one's shit. If everyone is balanced, no one is overpowered. Everyone's balanced, right? Because if everyone's broken, then no one's broken because everyone is insane. That's literally just how it works. There's no way around that. It's like if everyone has a one-hit button, then no one's going to go cry because everyone has the opportunity to one-hit everyone else. The reason why there's an issue right now is because, like I said before, you have heroes that were made back when the devs had no idea what they were doing, essentially, right? They were basic, they were slow, they were boring, essentially. Now they have a bunch of heroes with a whole bunch of stuff that they've learned with new moves. They're fun, they're fast, they're fluid, they're great. You put these two in the same category, and of course, these ones are all broken as fuck compared to these. They're going to be. And now they're trying to rework them to make them less boring and get them everywhere, but all you've done now is you've gone up to a mixer and you've just done this. So now everything's all over the fucking place, and you're trying to equalize everything. It's not going to work. It's going to take forever to get it done, and of course, one's going to be broken, one's going to be shit, one's going to be middle tier. So if they just made everyone broken, it would be great. It would be fine. No one would be broken. Everything would be balanced. But yeah, who knows? Who fucking knows? The next question comes from the Tubby Pirate. Do you think there are any characters in For Honor that need to be nerfed/buffed? If so, who? So I've answered this briefly before. I'll just go over it quickly. Characters that might need to be nerfed a little bit. As much as I hate to say it, Brother Goki, he's pretty fucked. Probably Hitakiri for sure. Black Prior a little bit. All the Wu Lin. Pretty much. I fucking hate the Wu Lin. They all need to be nerfed in some way or form. Characters need to be buffed. Warlord needs a rework so he's not boring. Nabushi definitely needs a buff and a rework. Centurion needs a buff/rework in terms of just reverting him back to his old self, buffing him up a bit maybe. Pure buffs. Gladiator definitely needs some pure buffs. He doesn't need a rework. He's fine how he is. He just needs his stuff to work properly, and reflex guard shit, so don't know what to do about that. Orochi needs an opener, so there's that as well. There's so much. I could go through every hero, but there's things everyone needs, but that's just a quick draft over it. The next question comes from Kool-Aid Man 408. Congrats on 43k, my guy. Thank you, my man. If the devs give you the power to change one aspect of the game, what would it be and why? If they gave me the ability to change one aspect of the game, it would be the content release schedule and the balancing, right? So that comes in the content release schedule. If I put me in charge of that, give me the funds necessary, and holy shit, this would be amazing, right? Because that's one thing that keeps games alive. Content, balance, that's it, right? All this additional stuff is all just fluff here and there, but that's the biggest problem with For Honor right now, and the thing that if I could change one aspect of the game, it would be how they release content and how they balance stuff, how fast they do it. Because the game lives and dies by those two things. Next question comes from Aepea, I think that is. It's a weird font, so I can't read it, but do you think For Honor will have content dropping after the Wu Lin Heavy? If so, what? So I talked about this a lot in the first video. Feel free to check that out. TLDR on that one, pretty much no fucking clue. I honestly don't know. I went on a big rant in the first part, so if you didn't see it, check that out. But it's all up in the air right now, who knows. Next question comes from Link's Renegade. Can we get more For Honor gameplay? Because sometimes there's no need to rant about something that everyone already knows about, which is still helpful, don't get me wrong, but please more gameplay. So I do plan on doing more gameplay in the future. I put out a video recently, and gameplay is a weird one. Okay, so once again, my whole channel and philosophy is entertaining you guys. If I'm not entertaining you guys, you're not enjoying what I'm doing, I'll do something else to entertain you, right? I'm happy. I'm completely happy to just cut something. I can be excited for it. I can be really happy to do something and really I really want to do this. If none of you like it, respond to it, don't watch it, I'll just scrap it and I'll do that in my own spare time, and then I'll find something else you guys like. Because it's about entertaining you guys, and I get enjoyment out of entertaining you guys. So I do want to do more gameplay. If you guys watch it, then I'll definitely do more in the future, but I will do more and we'll see how it goes. The reason why I stopped doing gameplay for the most part was because of two things. One, I didn't have enough time to sit down and really record stuff, and two, because not many people were watching it, so I just assumed you guys didn't really like it that much. But if you guys do like it and you want to see more, I'll do more. Next question comes from Weekly Top 10. Do you believe For Honor has a future? I believe it does, but I want to know your opinion. Love your content. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, my friend. Yes, For Honor has a future. It has as much as a future as they want to give it. If they want to pump money into it, it can have the best fucking future in the world. If they want to cut money from it and don't give them the funds to do what they need to do, I'm talking about the devs, then it has no future and it's going to die. The game's future lives and dies on Ubisoft higher-ups, the guys who are in charge of the money. They give them enough money and give them enough time and developers and everything to do their fucking job, it will be fine. If they don't, it's going to die and we all have to find something else to play, essentially. Next question comes from It's Me, MK. If you were to be in any of the For Honor factions in real life or any other non-game civilization, what would you choose? Now, for the For Honor factions, I would have to go Vikings because I just fucking love Vikings so much. And yeah, that would be really, really fun. That would actually be really, really fun being a Viking back then. And as for non-game civilizations, I would have to pick Greek or Italians, right? Greek Empire, Italian Empire, give me one of those. I'm happy. It's my people. Got to go back to, where we belong. Then that's ruling the fucking known world. But next question comes from JJ Webster. My question for you is, what is going to be your first Rep 60? If the Warhammer hero is great, it's going to be the Warhammer hero. Apart from that, then it's probably going to be when they add a Spartan into the game. Next question comes from James Datzuk. With Raider, what would you rather have removed? Soft feints or hyper armor? Hyper armor. So hyper armor is a dead end piece of gameplay because it really, you just wait for them to attack and then they throw out the attack and it gets to the point where they can't feint it. You throw out an attack at the exact same time, you hit through, they do damage to you, you do damage to them, and you just outwin them with a trade, right? That's essentially what hyper armor is, and it's fun when you're doing it to people. It's boring to play again. So I'd remove hyper armor because soft feints, although it's a 50-50, and it's all about mind games and everything, fucking them up, setting them up, confusing them. It takes skill to do. And it takes a lot of reading on your opponent's part not to fall into the 50-50 trap. It's the same sort of thing, where you're playing Conqueror and you dash forward, bash them, dash forward, bash them, dash forward, but don't go for the bash, they go for the dodge, and then you basically guard break them. That's a 50-50 right there. Because it's like, is he going to go for the dodge or is he going to go for the bash? Do I dodge or do I cop it? It's this mind game thing that's going on. So soft feints are fine. I'd remove the hyper armor. Next question comes from Hafir Wysop. I fucking butchered that. I am sorry. I am not Scandinavian, so please don't hold that against me. When did you get your first tattoo and what does it stand for? Plus, was it painful? So my first tattoo was this entire arm. I like to get entire pieces done at once. I don't like getting like one little thing here and there. I like to design one big thing and then I get that done. So my right arm was my first one, and then essentially what it means is, so there's family names, a couple of prayers, and the lyrics from Lacuna Coil, End of Time. And was it painful? Yeah, you're getting stabbed with a needle repeatedly for hours, so yeah, it was really painful. Actually, not that, but depends, right, on the spot. It's not like, oh my god, I'm in agony, I'm gonna die. Some places fucking were, other places weren't. So for example, like here, on the elbow there, like I could feel it, like hear it grinding against the bone and shit, and that's a really painful spot, like right there as well on that Raven's head. Oh my god, that fucking caned. There were parts where I was just like, yeah, okay, I got a high pain threshold, but there were parts where I'm just like, fuck me dead. So yes, it hurts. Other places though, I could sit there and just do it all day and it really didn't hurt. Like all here, that entire thing there, completely fine. Didn't even feel it that much. So it really depends. Oh, so some people, Like they'll get a basic tattoo and they'll be crying, fucking bawling their eyes out. Other people like me, yeah, it takes a lot for it to like hurt. And there's people in the middle where it's just like here and there. So it comes down to you, bro. Next question is from Corpseful King. What makes your channel so epic and what made Mr. Brown so badass? So what makes my channel so epic? That is pretty much all of you guys. Without you guys, this channel would be nothing. So I attribute all of that to you. You watch my content, you support me, and you enjoy what I'm doing. That's all I ever asked for, and that's why I do this whole thing. As for what makes Mr. Brown so epic, story time. So Mr. Brown here, okay, let's tell the story of Mr. Brown. He's older than me, okay? I have no idea how old he was. He was there when I was born, so that's where Mr. Brown came from. He's the channel manager. He takes care of everything. And he's really badass because he was in Vietnam, you see. That's where he lost his nose. He used to have a nose there, a black nose. He lost that in Vietnam. You can also see that he has been, where is it? There we go. He's been stabbed in the bum. So that was when he copped the bayonet in the ass. So that was that. He also has a fish here. There we go. The fish, when you used to push him, he would sing row, row, row your boat. But the fish got shot in the throat. So now he can't speak. But he's, seen a bunch of shit. So that's why Mr. Brown is like that. He's seen some shit. Done some shit. Like all veterans, he's fucking awesome. But yeah, that's the story of Mr. Brown. He's my buddy, and he's gonna be there till the day I die, hopefully. And speaking of that as well, it's real funny because one of my ex at the time, she asked me a question: if like the house was on fire, you could run in, grab one thing and only one thing, what would it be? And like I just said straight away, I'm like, Mr. Brown. I just grabbed Mr. Brown. I'm getting the fuck out of there. And then she's like, you do realize like your nephew and stuff are in the house as well? I'm just like, yeah, that's a tough one though, because Mr. Brown's like. He's my guy. But I didn't even think about it straight away. I'm just like, oh, the house is on fire. Grab Mr. Brown. So that's what that is. Next question comes from Darth Vader. He says, if you could choose what the devs For Honor focus on the most, what would that be? Second question is dark side or light side. Third question, who would win Apollyon or Dominate? So first question, I pretty much answered. I would basically want them to focus on content, balance, screw tournaments, and all that sort of crap. That's a road to nowhere right now. They need to sort of like, keep the content and the balance going. So that's a priority. Dark side or light side, 100% dark side. I am Sith all the fucking way. I would make Anakin look like a bitch if I got given the chance. 3, who would win, Apollyon or Daubeny? Apollyon would rip Daubeny in fucking half. That was the whole point of the Daubeny meme. He's so shit, he's like, crap, I'm not gonna fight you. You're gonna murder me. You, fight the guy. Like, Daubeny's a bitch. So yeah, Apollyon would rip him in half. And Apollyon like fought like a shit ton of guys. Got stabbed a bunch, it was fine. Yeah, that's an easy one. Next question is from Pumpkin Boy. I'm so happy to see you hit 43k subs, man. I remember you just started this channel out and you've come so far. Thank you so much. Do you ever think you'll come to any conventions in the States? Pretty much, yeah, I'd love to. That'd be really, really cool. I'd love to do that. But it comes down to 2 things. Well, 3 things. Time, money, and a reason to. If I get more time and I have more money and I have a reason to, like something I really want to go check out, I'm definitely down to come there. I also want to come to America at some point. There's a few countries I do want to visit. So, yeah. At some point, I want to come down to America, hope I don't get shot, and see what happens. Next question comes from Bobby Brown. First of all, love the videos. My question is, if a shark and a tiger had a fight, who would win? So it purely depends on the battleground, my friend. If it's in the ocean, the shark wins. If it's on land, the tiger wins. If the shark is in a bubble of water floating across the land, I have no fucking clue, but I'd love to see it. Next question comes from DJ Wilson. What other games do you play besides For Honor and Dark Souls 3? So it really depends on my mood. Lately, I've been playing Battle Brothers. I've been playing some Warhammer Total War. I've been into strategy games lately. Slay the Spire, that's been one thing. I've been playing For Honor, Mordhau. So those are the ones I've been gravitating to lately. My main genres, just so you all know, of games that I like playing, RPG games, single player games, horror games I do enjoy. MMO RPGs are one of my favorite. MOBAs are really, really good. Shooters, of course. I really, really love shooters. Card games, I dabble in here and there. I like Gwent. So yeah, that's sort of general stuff that I like. But when it comes to fighting games, I've never really been big into them. Back in the day, the only fighting games I played was Mortal Kombat, and I also played a little bit of Street Fighter. Not much of that. Mainly Mortal Kombat and Super Smash Brothers. And then For Honor was pretty much the first fighting game I've played since the original Super Smash Brothers and Mortal Kombat. But yeah, those are the genres I like, and those are a few of the games I'm playing. Next question is from Eduardo Chiodi. Okay, one word, Warden. What's your opinion? Does he need some changes or even a rework? Right now, I feel the other Vanguards are on a completely different level compared to him. I think Warden's fine. I have no issue with him. He's pretty solid. He's not shit. He's not really, really overpowered. He has a bunch of 50-50 mind games and stuff in there. Yeah, I think he's fine. I have no feelings either way towards Warden right now. There's other characters that are worse than him and need a buff, and there's other characters that are way more boring to play than him and need like something new. There's also other characters that are way more OP than him that need a nerf. So yeah, he's sort of in the middle right now. Next question comes from Noise Tank. When For Honor gets boring to make videos, YouTube videos for, what game are you thinking about covering next? Also, what's the most memorable security moment for you? So when it comes to YouTube videos and making them for Honor and stuff, it doesn't really get boring for me because I still enjoy the game, and because I don't play the game to death and I just have fun with it, I don't get bored. It's just about coming up with like, you know, the interesting stuff that I want to talk about and do that sort of stuff that I think you'll find entertaining. That's the main challenge for me when it comes to YouTube, not whether it's boring or not. And also, what will I cover next? We'll have to wait and see what happens. I literally don't know right now. It's all just waiting, but I do have plans for stuff. Oh, so what was the most memorable moment while you were doing security? So I have a shit ton of security stories. Some are really, really fucking bad and dark. Some are really, really fun. Some are really weird. And some are really intense. So if you want me to do a video on just security stuff, I've like 8 years plus of doing security. So there's a ton of shit there. If you want a video about security stories, I can do that. But one memorable moment that springs to mind is, okay, so I was working at a club, and there's 2 floors. There's the main floor, which is this giant dance floor, capacity 800 people. There's a second floor, which is basically, it's a bar, a balcony, and it's 15-foot drop from there to the main dance floor, right? So up there's about a capacity of 200 people. So it's a pretty big place compared to most. I was supervising at the venue, so I was walking around looking for drunk people, talking to people, you know, doing that sort of stuff, checking on the guards. And I walked up to the mezzanine, the place where we called it up there, the mezzanine, right? Got up to the mezzanine, and then there was a guard sitting there, and he's just watching, right? And there's a crowd, and there's 2 people dancing. They're doing swing dancing, swinging people around, right? It's this man and his girlfriend. And then I walk over, I sit next to the guard, I'm like, that's pretty cool. They're pretty good. And he's like, yeah, they're great. And then I'm just like, security brain kicked in. I'm like, oh shit, wait, we have to stop this. I'm like, that's dangerous as hell. All right, we'll stop it. So I went to walk over to stop it. As I'm walking over to the dude, he decides to flip his girlfriend around and then lets go of her by accident. Lost like grip of her, and she went flying off the balcony, right? She goes flying, screams. You hear screams go all the way down, then nothing. The dude doesn't fucking move. He goes white as a ghost, realizing what he's done, drops to his knees, and he's thought he just killed his girlfriend. I thought he killed her too. I've gone, fuck. Ran over, looked over the balcony edge. I'm like, oh shit, there's gonna be a corpse, right? Luckily, it was packed. People everywhere. So what happened was, she got thrown off the balcony, right? The whole thing was really funny. If she had died, it wouldn't have been as funny, but just the whole scenario was hilarious. I was like half trying not to laugh, but she got thrown over. What happened was, as she was falling, she was screaming so fucking loud that everyone down there looked up and caught her, because there was so many people. It was like sardines, right? It was packed. And she was completely fine. No scratches, no injuries, no nothing. So she came back upstairs, and he's just like, the guy's like in tears on the ground, and then he was fine, and then it was all good. Oh my God. It was one of the funniest things and scariest things. Like my heart just like, you know that feeling when something happens and your heart just everything just drops. She's like, no, don't do that. Please stop. That happened. This chick just nearly died, and I'm just like, wow. So that was that. There's plenty more. Some are way fucking worse, and some do involve death. Some do involve injuries. Some do involve stuff that's happened to me that put me in hospital and shit. So there's also a bunch of weird, funny stuff in there. You want to hear more? Let me know. Next question's from Sir Wallamalot 97. You ever thought of doing For Honor gameplay videos? I do a bunch of those. I've always done gameplay videos. There's been a hiatus recently, which I already explained why. But yeah, there's plenty on my channel, man. Feel free to check them out. And I got more coming out as well. Next question comes from Mantor Han. What would you think about a fist fight, a martial art hero? Hello from Hungary. Hello, my friend. That would be really fucking cool. I'm thinking about a way to do it, because I might do a possible hero video about it. But you have to have something where it's like a full-on fist guard, like goes like that, or maybe just like a big plate fist, because you need something to be able to block like maces and, you know, hammers and halberds and shit with. You can't just like, you know, have knuckle dusters and be like, oh yeah, this is going to work out. So you need like some sort of like fist plate, maybe like to there, like a half thing or a full thing to crunch people. We'll have to wait and see, but it's a cool idea. Could work. Next question comes from Lotharia Stormfist. Well, Raven, my dear friend, has been a wonderful time watching your content through these years and many more to come. Question: what did you want to be when you were a kid? That is a interesting one. So I'm the type of person where whenever I want to do anything, I just do it. Whether it works or not, I do it. I don't care. So when I was a kid, I sort of wanted to be something to do with music. I always wanted to play live on stage and everything. So I saw this guy called Buddy Rich, and he was playing the drums, and it was so fucking cool. So I thought, fuck it, let's do drums. I started playing drums. And then from that point onwards, it just, anything I wanted to do, I did it. Drums, I wanted to do it, did it. Guitars, picked that up, started playing keyboards, started playing that violin, started playing that. Like martial arts, started doing that. I was a professional wrestler for 3 years, started doing that because I thought it looked cool. Just went and started doing it. I was playing like I was performing live in front of like 500 plus people. So it really just comes down to anything I want to do, I'd do it. And when it came to being a kid, no massive dreams, just music was one of them and nothing else. I was really occupied as a kid with stupid shit. No lofty goals, let's say. Next question comes from Ian Cassie. Do you ever think Shigoki will get a hug execution or emote? Yes, I do, and I really want him to get one. Okay, this is the perfect execution for Brother Goki. Okay, I want to have one where there's the enemy, okay? And what he does is he grabs them and he hugs them really tight because he loves them so much because they're so fucking awesome, and his brother Goki, he loves giving hugs. And then he lets go, and then they just drop dead because he broke their back. He just like snapped their spine in half because he was loving them too hard. That would be one of the best executions ever, because then he can sort of walk over and he'd be like poke him a bit like with his mace and be like, hey buddy, get up. And they never get up ever again. It was all because of Brother Goki. But then he sort of just like pushes their corpse a little bit to the side and walks off. That'd be great. I would definitely love one of those. Next question is from Sky O Night. I DM'd you on Twitter about this a few days ago, but what is your outro song? I must have missed that DM because I didn't see that. As for my outro song, it is by OnLap. It's called The Awakening. The intro and outro song is always in the description box of my video, so check that out if you wish. Next question is from O Villainous. The hero you mained when you first started playing the game and your main hero now, or the hero you play the most? Thanks. Hero I main when I first started playing the game was Lawbringer, and the hero I main now is a mix between Hitakiri and Shaman. Next question is from Sam X Sar. Do you believe in God? If so, what God? Way too personal, I know, but don't worry. Okay, so now this is the interesting one. I do believe in God. I don't know exactly what God in terms of like what he is and everything, because I don't believe in churches. That's two separate things here, okay? Churches and all that sort of stuff is man-made stuff, right? People are corrupt. We were all made by, say, a higher being. And if that is the case, then guess what? Those people in charge of all the churches and everything, they're all corrupt because they're humans and they were made by that same higher being. So you can't have an entity that is corrupt running something that's supposed to be pure. It just doesn't work. But I am a weird one, okay? So I believe science and religion, in terms of like, spirituality, they both go hand in hand. And this is a larger topic, so I'm not going to go too into it because I can talk about this for ages. But I do believe that there is a God of some description. I do believe there is an afterlife. I do believe that there are ghosts and stuff like that. I also believe that science is incredibly important, and science and religion can work perfectly together, because the job of science is to prove that religion is wrong and it's false, right? And any scientist who says that there is no God, it's not, religion's bullshit, they're not being true scientists, because the point of science is you don't know. Can you prove it? If you can prove it, here's the evidence that thing doesn't exist. If you have the evidence that thing doesn't exist, you then send it to all the other scientists, and then they all turn around and go, they look over it, they study it, they try to debunk it, they can't. That is now true. That's a thing. There is no evidence scientifically that religion is false, that God doesn't exist. There is no afterlife. There is none of that. Whereas religion, it's all, faith-based. You don't need evidence. It's about, I believe this is a thing. So because I believe this is a thing, then that's what it is to me. You don't need proof for it. But at the same time, here's where I stand. Yeah, I'm spiritual in terms of God and all that sort of stuff, afterlife, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. No one knows. And the thing is, neither are wrong right now, okay? Science is one thing, religion is another thing. None of us know what the fuck's on the other side until we die. Unfortunately, the only way to find out is to die. And once you die, guess what? You can't come back and tell people. If you die, you don't exist, guess what? Science wins. If you die and you do exist and there's heaven, hell, whatever the fuck's on the other side, or an afterlife of some description, then guess what? It's true, but you can't come back and tell anyone. So we'll never know till we die. Neither side's wrong right now, because neither side has the ultimate evidence and proof. And that's essentially what you're going to need in order to convince anyone otherwise who's on either side of the fence. I'm in the middle. I believe in a lot of things. Next question is from Drew Hiyak. You said you work a week's worth of 12-hour shifts. I'm curious, what do you do for your career? Thanks for the videos. So, I work 60 hours a week at doing security. So I work at two places. I work at a university, which is really, really cool, really, really boring, but cool. And then I work at a whole bunch of club stuff. So, clubs, pubs, live music venues, events, all that sort of stuff, corporate stuff, bodyguard work, all that. So I do a bit of both of those. But yeah, it's 60 hours split between the both a week. Next question is from Mega Frankenstein. How come you are hardly active in your own Discord? Like I said before, time. It's all about time, my friend. If I get more time, I get on Discord more. I plan to be on more, in the future. I just need to find time to do it because you guys are monsters. I start talking and it's just like conversation for like, I get carried away because I love talking to you guys so much as well, right? You're monsters. I love talking to you guys. Put those two together and I'm like, I'll just jump on for 10 minutes and then I'm there for fucking an hour. And I'm like, oh shit. And there's other stuff I got to do, right? So yeah, it's just about time. So yeah, I like to sit there and enjoy. I like to sit there and take my time talking to you guys because I enjoy it so much. So once I get more time, that will happen. Next question is from Lisa Sophie. Do you follow the Valbupi religion and what games you plan on playing? So Lisa, you're going to hate me for this and be kind, okay? I don't know what the Valbupi religion is. Okay. I don't know. Do not hurt me. Do not hurt Mr. Brown. We don't know. Please explain it to us. I know you're going to. And what game you plan on playing? There's a few in the future. There's a bunch of single player games and then the Skull of Bones and whatever else comes out. But yeah, I put out a video about that, so feel free to check it out. It's on the channel on upcoming games I'm looking forward to. Next question from Michael Jordan. Hold up a minute. Where's your tank top? I have more than one tank top and I have other clothes. So don't stress about that. But the tank top is currently in the wash. And next question from Mark Flanagan. To ask the dude in the room, what made you decide to start a channel on YouTube? What is your favorite game to play? So, the YouTube thing's a funny one. People probably have these like grand, lofty ideas. I started YouTube because I wanted to make a career. I started YouTube because I wanted to connect with people. I started YouTube on a whim. It was literally, so I was sitting there with one of my exes, and essentially what happened was, she's sitting there and she's like, I want to make a YouTube channel about making like makeup tutorials and stuff. And she was really keen on it. And I sat there, I'm just like, I could do YouTube. I talk a lot of shit. I play a lot of games. Put those two together, I'm sure I could do YouTube. Fuck it, why not? So I started a YouTube channel and then I kept going with it and it took off. And she never started hers because she was really, really self-conscious and everything about what people would think. I don't give a fuck what people think. Like, if people say they like me, they're like, yeah, this is great, sweet. If people say they hate me, they wish that I'd like burst into flames and die in a chemical fire, okay, don't care. So that wasn't really a factor for me. So I just jumped in, started doing it, got somewhere, and here we are today. She fucking hated me for it. She was furious for ages that I just did the thing that she wanted to do. Once again, like I said before, I want to do something, I just do it. I'm like, that'd be cool. Just did it, and it worked out. So that was the grand starting of the YouTube channel right there. And what is my favorite game to play? Right now, it's currently Battle Brothers. I'm sinking a lot of hours into that game just because it's so in-depth and so much fun. Next question is from Ignis Lord of Flames. Idea for Year 4 heroes. I could see Knights getting a Lance Guy. A Lance Guy would be so fucking cool. I might have to do a video on that. But outside of that, I'm holding off on Year 4 heroes because I have no idea if we're even going to get Year 4, essentially. But yeah, if they confirm we're getting a Year 4, I'll definitely do something like, what heroes I'm looking forward to, what I want. But Lance Guy would be really fucking cool. But I think I'm going to have to end the video there. That is a 50 minutes long so far. And yeah, there's still a few more questions left. So if you do want a part 3, let me know in the comment section down below. I don't want to just like bombard you guys with a shit ton of these. I've tried my best to answer as many as I can in 2 videos. Outside of that, thank you all so much for all your questions, for everything that you've asked, and for being here and supporting me this entire time. None of this would be possible without you guys. You literally make my fucking channel possible, and I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. I love reading and replying to all your comments down below, and I try to get to as many as I possibly can. And feel free to follow me on my social medias. You can follow me on Twitter at Reavyne Gaming, you can follow me on Instagram at Reavyne, and you can follow me on Discord at Reavyne Gaming as well. Thank you all again so much, and if you want that part 3, let me know. I shall see you on the next video. Have a good one, guys.